What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and in an updated report released this morning, 10,000 jobs have been cut from the fast food industry in just California alone since enacting the $20 minimum wage. This in addition to almost in every single restaurant, them also increasing prices. We have a perfect storm here for McDonald's, Chipotle, Burger King, all these places where they're not quite ready yet to replace everybody with machines. And we've got Bidenflation absolutely making everything unaffordable. And we've got greedy shareholders and greedy companies like McDonald's, who I said made, look at me with my little communist remark here, but $14.5 billion in profit last year alone, still charging everyone $18 for a Big Mac meal. It's a perfect storm. And, a lot of people are getting off fast food. A lot of people are getting off a lot of things to save themselves some money. And in fact, I've got the perfect solution for you if you're trying to break a bad habit. Check this out. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Fume. We all have bad habits. Mine was the kind you'd think you were doing super well going without, and then you're out with friends, or maybe you're at the pub or whatever, and everyone's reaching for their bad habits, and you feel that urge not to be left out, and so you crack. I've had about 1,000 final indulgences in various bad habits throughout my life. What if I was to tell you that there is a better alternative that helps you kick your bad habit in an enjoyable way? Something that you could take out with you. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device. Fume draws flavor to your mouth. Fume fills the void. Ditching a bad habit can leave. You still have something to reach for. Fume has no vapor. You can use it anywhere. There's no nicotine, no toxic flavors. A totally guilt-free alternative. No batteries, you'll never need to charge it, and it looks awesome. I absolutely love mine. I fidget with it constantly throughout the day. It's always in my hand. It's great. Flavored air, which by the way, my favorite is either the orange vanilla or the crisp mint. There's lots of flavors to choose from, so I mix it up, but I find myself going back to those the most. Flavored air isn't vaping. If vapor was compared to sticky soda, Fume cores are closer to herbal teas. Fume has a lot of delicious flavors to choose from, like crisp mint and orange vanilla. Well, there they are. With flavored air, you can satisfy your oral fixation through a passive diffusion system that utilizes no electronics, vapor, or combustion. Fume continuously invests in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products, and it's backed by doctors in the United States. Fume has over 150,000 customers, and you can be the next success story. For limited time, use my code QUARTERING to get 10% off a journey pack. Head to tryfume.com, that's tryfum.com, and use code QUARTERING, or scan the QR code on the screen to save 10% off your order today. I do a lot of different sponsored reads, and I can say Fume absolutely is a product that I enjoy and that I personally use. I don't say that if I don't. Let's start with this article. California fast food restaurants have cut 10,000 jobs since the state passed $20 minimum wage. Duh. Everybody saw this coming. You can look at the initial tweet, right, and see all the replies. No one saw this coming. They're also raising prices, as noted in the article, so both employees and customers are being hit by the higher minimum wage. Communism isn't working exactly as it's supposed to. They're so progressive, they'll be the first to start the recession. Californians will argue that the answer, in fact, is now a $25 minimum wage. See, when Rubio's is closing down, you have a real problem. Rubio's just closed, I think, 70 locations. That's a fish taco chain in California alone. No one understands how small and medium-sized businesses work. No one who understands how small and medium-sized businesses work is surprised. Nice work, Gavin Newsom. You're getting closer to communism every day. Wow, it's almost like artificially inflating wages actually ends jobs. What a shocker. You see a lot of people basically, 10,000 people learned a very important economics lesson. The real minimum wage is actually zero. That is true. Again, I'm all for people getting paid a fair wage. But also, we live in an at-will employment society, and we live, according to Joe Biden, in the best possible job society that we've ever had. If you want to make $20, $30 an hour, you just can't work at McDonald's. It's just not going to work because customers are only willing to take so much of a price increase. And by the way, now with everything being automated, I'm getting less inclined to go, although I'm I feel like I've gone. I don't know. You let me know about yourself in the comment section down below. But I feel like, outside of like some, I don't know what you call it, but what I would call it is like mid-grade fast food, like McDonald's, Burger King. Like they're like low-grade fast food. They're like, I've got no other options or no other time. Then you've got stuff like where I live, Culver's, or maybe where you live, like a Five Guys, or like these are like mid-grade fast food. They might still have a drive-through, but you're willing to wait a few minutes. Or like if I go to Culver's and I order a cod fillet basket, which by the way is the best thing you can order at Culver's, and if you haven't done it, you're missing out. I believe, it was funny. One time the guy from, I forget who it was. I think it was Evan from Black Rifle Coffee Company texted me and was like, do people actually get the cod fillet at Culver's? And then he was having lunch with the guy from Epic Mealtime, because I told him to get the cod fillet when he was down there. And then they texted me back like, dude, it is good. Anyway, the cod fillet basket is with cheese nuggets is the meal at Culver's. You can tell it's lunchtime for me. But let's take a look at this. Prices. California Governor Gavin Newsom's successful push to hike the minimum wage for many of the state's fast food workers has having a devastating impact on business, who have been forced to cut labor costs to survive. Prices at major brands like Chipotle, McDonald's, and other fast food giants have increased in a move to keep up with the $20 an hour workers' wage. I think it's more than that. They've increased it enough to also maintain their insane profit margins, and they've increased it to offset wild inflation on the cost of food. It's more than just the $20 minimum wage. I think, to be fair, I think that the easiest dunk would be to point to the minimum wage. But, you look at how these companies treat their people. McDonald's is forcing you to use the app, which somebody told me yesterday they actually get good deals using the app. So maybe I will get the app. But they're reducing the number of employees. They're adding more automation. They're forcing people to take the app, so they have less people to have to take orders, all this kind of stuff. So, they're paying the few people they have $20 an hour, but they're probably fewer people. The California Business and Industrial Alliance said that nearly 10,000 jobs have been cut across fast food restaurants this year. To highlight what is said as the unintended consequences of the law, the CABIA has taken out an ad in Thursday's statewide edition of USA Today to mock obituaries of popular fast food brands. It highlights multiple restaurants that have to raise the price and lay off workers to stay afloat. In some cases, have to shut down stores. The ad features news clips documenting changes made by brands like El Pollo Loco, Subway, Burger King, and more across the state. California businesses have been under total attack for years, the CABIA president and founder Tom Manzo told Fox Business. They shut another law that put businesses further in jeopardy. When he signed it into law, Newsom said the state was getting one step closer to fairer wages, safer and healthier work conditions, and better training by giving hardworking fast food workers a strong voice and seat at the table. Governments, unlike private business, have options when they run out of money, said Manzo, who said officials were living in fantasy land by thinking that the drastic wage increases will help workers or businesses. Now, I don't know what your average fast food worker makes in 2024. When I was in high school and worked fast food and all my friends worked fast food, we made about $6 to $7 an hour. And I think the minimum wage at that time was in the high fives. Might have been $5.15 or $5.50 an hour. And I had a friend that worked at BK and he made like $7 an hour. I worked in a restaurant. I made like $6.50 an hour, $7 an hour. So I don't know what people in I don't know how much of a bump they got. I assume the average fast food worker in California was probably still making $15 an hour, but I could be wrong about that. In the weeks before the wage hike went into effect, some California fast food owners began firing workers in anticipation of increased labor costs. In December, Southern California Pizza Co., which owns many Pizza Hut stores, announced layoffs of 841 delivery drivers across the state. Meanwhile, the increase in pay comes as inflation has resulted in higher prices for food items. A recent survey conducted by LendingTree found that 78% of consumers now consider fast food to be a luxury purchase due to how expensive the meals have become. Part of the push for the hike was to give fast food workers more financial freedom in a state known for high cost of living. However, critics contend that fast food jobs were meant for young people as a stepping stone. Duh, everyone knew that. Or extra money, by the way. People always forget that. Like, I worked 2 jobs for a long time in my life. I worked at Walmart for extra money, or I worked at a pizza joint for extra money because it didn't matter because I was young and I still had time. I worked 2 jobs and I still had time to hang out with my friends. It was like an extra $150 every 2 weeks. That was, money for herbal remedies for me, or beer money, or whatever the case was. You worked to pick up shit. There's nothing wrong with working a job there, but it's just not going to survive. You're not going to survive. You see California controlling elites don't eat fast food. They go to places like the French Laundry and dine out. That would be a reference to Gavin Newsom, of course. California fast food wage hike has detrimental impact, put businesses in jeopardy. Critics say, well, duh. Prices at major brands like Chipotle, McDonald's, and other fast food giants have increased in a move to keep up with the $20 wage per hour because they're not going to make less money. They're not going to make less money, remember. You can only raise prices so much, he said, and you're seeing it. People are not going to pay $20 for a Big Mac. It's not going to happen. He noted that to comply with the law, some restaurants have to cut employee hours and will most likely move towards more automation in the future, which is exactly what everyone said would happen. In the weeks before the wage hike went into effect, some California fast food owners began letting go of workers immediately. 10,000 workers. You have McDonald's out here trying to issue their little letters. No, the Big Mac did not double in price. McDonald's would face a situation similar to that to the gasoline prices. After a picture of an $18 Big Mac meal went viral, that image was real, but it was also an outlier. It's also a microcosm of what everyone says is going on with fast food. Like I said, where I live right now, I could pull up DoorDash or I don't have the McDonald's app, and look at the prices at McDonald's, and a quarter pounder with cheese extra value meal is like $11 or $12. That's bananas. I could go to the butcher and get, I could get a half pound of high quality Angus for $8 and make my own with better quality beef. You know what I mean? I could probably get more than that if I were shopping deals or I went to Costco. It's not like McDonald's is getting butcher quality meat. If I match the quality of meat, I could probably get a pound or two of it for that same price. A pound or two of it, a bag of, a pack of buns and some cheese, easy. That's what people are choosing to do. And there is a ceiling on what people are willing to pay for fast food, and we've finally reached it. And so now, as people get replaced by robots, as prices, oh my God, I'm totally surprised. The most predictable turn of events in the history of mankind. I'm actually shocked by that. This has just been the most predictable, and it's sad because these people that got fired, they're the ones that actually get hurt by this. Gavin Newsom gets a few more points in the vote for saying $20 minimum wage, but the reality is all these people ended up getting fired, and so now they're out of work. It's just totally predictable, totally preventable. Minimum wage is stupid in capitalism. There's enough jobs out there that no business can exist paying $1 an hour. The idea of a required minimum wage is stupid. There's plenty of options for people to get jobs these days. And it sucks for the people that lost their job. I hope you were informed by this video. If you were, please do leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.